Have you ever had a moment that felt like a movie scene, where the world just stops? For me, that moment arrived on a Tuesday. I was making coffee. The sun was streaming in, and my wife, Sarah, had left her phone on the counter. It buzzed, and I glanced over. A message on the screen. It wasn't the words themselves, but the name attached to them, followed by a heart emoji, that made my own heart freeze. It wasn't from her sister or her best friend. It was from a man I'd never heard of. In that instant, 1,000 scenarios flashed through my mind. Denial was the first visitor. It's nothing, I told myself. A misunderstanding. A coworker. An old friend. But my gut, that primal instinct we so often ignore, was screaming. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't confront her. I just stood there, coffee forgotten, as the pieces of my perfect life started to shift and rearrange themselves into a picture I didn't recognize. When Sarah came back into the kitchen, smiling, asking if I wanted another coffee, I just looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time, I saw a stranger. I managed a small smile and said, "No, I'm good, thanks." The silence that followed was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. I knew, and I think, in that moment, she knew that I knew. The quiet before the storm. Later that evening, the tension was unbearable. We sat on the sofa, a football game on TV that neither of us was watching. The space between us felt like a canyon. I finally turned to her and calmly said, "Sarah, we need to talk." The look in her eyes was a mix of fear and resignation. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse. I just asked a simple question. "Are you happy?" The dam broke. The tears, the confessions, the apologies, they all came flooding out. She told me about him, about how it started, about the loneliness she felt that I had been too blind to see. It wasn't an excuse, but it was a reason. And as I listened, something inside me shifted. The rage I expected to feel was replaced by a profound, aching sadness. Sadness for her, for me, for the us we had lost. My calmness seemed to surprise her. I think she was braced for a fight, for a dramatic, movie-like showdown. Instead, I just listened. I asked questions not to trap her but to understand. How did we get here? Where did I go wrong? Because it's never just one person's fault, is it? A relationship is a dance, and somewhere along the line, we had stopped listening to the music. In the days that followed, we talked more than we had in years. Raw, honest, painful conversations. There was no easy fix, no magic wand to wave and make everything okay. The trust was shattered, and rebuilding it felt like trying to glue a million tiny pieces of glass back together. We were living in the same house, but it felt like we were on different planets, orbiting a shared tragedy. I realized my calm response wasn't a sign of weakness, but of strength. It allowed us to navigate the wreckage without causing more damage. It gave her the space to see the consequences of her actions, not as a reaction to my anger, but as the reality of the situation. And it gave me the clarity to see my own part in the breakdown of our marriage. I had been present physically, but emotionally, I had checked out a long time ago. This journey is far from over. I don't know if us will ever be the same, or if we'll even be an us in the end. But the discovery of that message, as devastating as it was, forced us to confront the truth we had both been avoiding. It was a catalyst for a painful, but necessary awakening. Sometimes, the quietest response can create the loudest change. It's a strange thing, isn't it? The person you promise forever to can become the source of your deepest pain. But through that pain, you can also find a new kind of strength you never knew you had. You find the strength to face the truth, the strength to be calm in the storm, and the strength to decide what your own happily ever after will look like, even if it's not the one you originally planned. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you're not alone. The path forward is never easy, but it is possible. Taking care of your own heart and your own peace is the most important first step. Thank you for listening to my story today. If it resonated with you, I'd be grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories about life's unexpected turns. Take care of yourselves.